Goldman is going to be a driver to look out for next race. He was coming on strong in the final couple of laps there. He was gaining and gaining and gaining on the leaders.
Hello and welcome back to Closed Circuit Sports for the afternoon session of round 9 of the Indy Karting Challenge at Whiteland Raceway Park. Skipping warm-up, but showing you how it went pretty well. Went pretty well. Getting going for qualifying. I was a couple seconds behind with the gloves, but just means we're going to have clear air. No draft, but no battling either, so all fine. Should be fine. Rolling out with 15 extra pounds and an extra gallon of fuel. Trying to get the tires up to temp nice and quick. But with the extra ballast, I was struggling to put it where I wanted it. So you'll see more squealing of tires, more counter steering, because the stuff that I had learned in the morning, especially as the track was getting grippier, was I needed to adapt the things that I had learned in the morning to the new conditions that I was currently driving under. Small medium class, but everybody here is good. There's one person I'm pretty confident that I'm going to be able to beat, just because I don't think he did any practicing. But we'll see if we can hold it. Everybody else, it's going to be a challenge. It's a stacked field. You got Nick Denny, Derek Cutshaw, and the regular crew. The usual suspects. So yeah, we're gonna get a guaranteed top 10, but man, every position above that is like, they're all so close. It's gonna be crazy trying to climb this ladder truly to the point where I'm like, yay, I'm on the pace. That's what I want. I want to be on the pace. Because if I can find the pace in a 206 or a KA, then I'll be able to do it in the sim. And if I can do it in the sim, then I can do it in any kind of car. What I'm worried about is transposing the information across vehicles. But this is like, I'm having to learn specific bad habits in order to drive this thing as fast as it can go. And I don't know how to do those bad habits safely yet. Namely, trail braking the way that they mean it in 206. In 206, trail braking seems, and it's the only class that is low enough horsepower for this to be a thing. Trail braking is applying the brake while you are on the throttle. Potentially, even at full throttle, applying the brake, because it is a single rear disc brake only. And in order to help you turn, I get it. I haven't been able to implement it consistently. I much prefer lifting off the throttle to trail braking the way that I'm being taught to do so in 206, because there's no other vehicle where that flies. Because no other vehicle has a single rear disc brake. Cars all have 4. Even shifter karts have 3. Even K1 has 3. At least 3. I think they might even have 4. I think it's 3 though. But they're such heavy chassis that it kind of deserves it. Even though they don't top out that fast. They're still heavy. Significantly heavier than these, as a matter of fact. Even in the medium class, we only run at 375 with the driver and his gear. Excuse me, 365. 375 is what Sierra runs. That's the senior open weight for Sierra, the Street Racing League. In the light class here, we run at 340. And with me being about 170 pounds, in the morning, kart's about 180. Excuse me. I came in at 348 with fuel. So maybe the kart is only like one, what would that be? This is funny. $170? Something like that? $160? $170 sounds right. 340. Braden Hebert coming across the scales fastest in qualifying with a 47.3. I was off the pace. Did not know why, but still in my rookie year in 206, trying to just still get used to running my own race when the race is this long and this fast and this intense. You gotta just take the positions that fall your way. You never know who's gonna have an issue, whether it be mechanical or something else. I hope you guys like the trip meter. That's a new one for this event. I'm gonna try it. I think it clutters it up a little bit, but it also keeps it, I don't know, it lets you know where we are in the race. It lets you know where we are in the drive. Also gives you scale, because the GoPro effect is real, and the GoPro on the side of the go-kart makes everything seem, I don't know, far away and oddly proportioned. It's interesting, even seeing the speedometer in the corner, the G meter and the RPMs and the track meter and everything. You don't get a good gauge of the distance. Like, how big is a go-kart track? Who knows, man? Sometimes it's about a kilometer. Sometimes it's a whole mile. Sometimes it's less. In this case, it was a little bit more than a half a mile. But we were running the whole time, right between about 24, 25 miles an hour and 54, 55 miles an hour. For the afternoon sessions, with the extra weight and after qualifying so slow, I was wigging out in the pits and had to come up with something that I could do to maybe give me a better shot of hanging, at least for a little while, in the races. And so we added a couple of teeth, which was absolutely a good move, to the rear sprocket. We went up 2 teeth on the rear sprocket, meaning I had more torque than in the morning on a grippier track. Gave me a lower top end, but I had barely been reaching the limiter during qualifying. And it wasn't because I was driving it differently, so I had to attribute it to something. As we go green, we're gonna end up fighting with the 19 here for a second. Not for too long, but get it here? Yes. I'm gonna try and stick with gauge. Coast across that crest. Swing into the right-hander down the hill. Flat through Daytona. In turn 1. Turn 2. Turn 3 on this layout. Or at least turn 3 after the start zone. This is usually turn 1. Down here into this hill. Because that is the start line, technically, I believe, for the lap. So, shoot. All about where you count from. But I believe it's that spot on the start straight. Excuse me, this was the start straight on this layout, so actually I mean the front straight by the timing tower. He's not running away on us yet, but we're not reeling him in either. Little slidey, but it has been all day. Getting better at rocking with it though, instead of fighting it so much, more like managing it. All the bumps, all the bounces. Trying really hard to keep my ass in the seat though. All the bounces still want to get me up and out of the seat, and I don't have one that's too big for me. Any smaller, I'd be worried that I was going to crack it getting in and out. When you get in and out of the seat, you kind of have to lean on it. So you want a soft seat so that it'll flex with you as you're racing. But you want a hard seat so that it doesn't flex so much that you can't get up. This is a good one. You do not want a squishy seat. No one wants a squishy seat. They're fiberglass. They are very rigid, even the soft ones. They don't fold, they crack. But when they crack, it gets dicey. Because the seat is absolutely a load-bearing part of the chassis. And it isn't in every race car, but it is in these. So is the driver when you think about it. Load-bearing part of the suspension and chassis. Not to mention most of the ballast. I think we've got the lead in good places. We've got one on the left-hand side of the seat, one in between the feet, in the front of the cart, and two on the back left side of the seat. So 3 attempting to balance out the weight of the motor on the right-hand side of the cart, and 1 trying to give the front a little extra grip because I know that I already have such a bias toward the rear of the cart that anything that I can do to put a little bit more weight on the front 2 tires has got to be a good thing for the performance. We're going to see if we can find a way to get a 4 corners weight on this cart so that I can figure out how to set it up for me. And then yeah, man, I think there's going to be a lot of on-track coaching going on soon here. whether it's with Colton, whether it's with Kyle Landon, who's been hitting me up, trying to get me to let him coach, which I'm not opposed to. I've also heard from, or I've got options in terms of Jason Ewers. He's a good one. Who else? Nicholas Nosman making the move through on us there. Give him credit where it's due. Who else? There were a couple of them. We got Derek Cutshaw, the NewGen guys, maybe Eli Fox. Levi is still too quick to be a good coach. I kind of want him to coach me by staying on my ass, but he always takes off and runs away. He does not wait for you to catch up. Not without just making it very dramatic. To the point where it's not quite helpful. But we'll figure it out. I think variety is probably going to end up being helpful. Trying to find people who are half a second faster than us, trying to find people who are a second faster than us, then people who are on race pace. It's only 3 levels, but yeah, there's separation. Checkers. It's all tenths of a second. There's only like 11 corners on the layout. So a little bit more than a second is about a tenth of a second in every corner. And while crazy, I believe it. We finished ahead of Reed. We finished behind Nick Nosman. Braden Heber came out with the win. Evan McCorkadale and Levi Wilbur finish out the podium. The NewGen bosses, Derek and Nick, coming in 4th or 5th. With Ben Gage. And who else? There's somebody next to him too. It's not Harden. Oh. Excuse me, that is Nick. Okay. Yeah, I got everybody. Both of the Nicks. Denny and Nosman. And then me. And then Reed. That's everybody. I wish we had a couple extra for this one, because this one's usually at least as big as the light class. Usually light is a little bit smaller than medium. I'm surprised that they had 2 more drivers today, but so be it. This will turn into us versus the course pretty quick, but such is racing these days, especially road racing. You're just trying to set fastest laps over and over and over. Trying to get close to somebody, trying to reel them in, but it always takes several laps to set up a pass. And then probably about 1 to execute it if you're being careful, if you're being smart, and if they're actually as good as you are. It'll probably take that long to set one up that you'll actually be able to make stick. Gonna be 10 minutes plus 2 laps for the final. With these laps being about 48 seconds, I expect it's gonna be about a 15 lap race. That was what I was going out mentally prepared for, because that was what the morning session had been, was a 15 lap race. But if I'm being honest, I kind of forget what lap you're on by about lap 5 or 6. At that point, you should just be in the groove, doing laps, trying to be fast as you can. Coming out of Daytona, everybody's finishing warming up their tires, getting into the tram lines, trying to manage the gap to the guy in front, trying to put their bumper right on his tail. Green. Trying not to get gapped off the line. Everybody trying to fight for space. Reed making a move on Gage. Can he hold it? No. Oh, we're through as well. That was dicey. In hindsight, probably shouldn't have split him, but we all navigated. Now let's stick with him. Everybody knows the tail now. It happened quick. The gap from first to fifth in this class on paper in qualifying was somewhere around a tenth and a half, I believe, maybe 2/10. So once you're on the pace, the difference is just minuscule between the top and the back of the front. I am here at the front of the back. Gage is at the back of the front, I would say. They are all very close together. We're chasing. We're not gaining anymore, but we're chasing. You can't always improve every lap, but you can keep learning. Keep trying to adapt, keep trying to send it a little bit harder than the last time. Trying to push a little bit here and there, trying to experiment here and there. I'm trying to keep the mistakes away. And see what falls our way. Everybody's raced really well today though. Like, the things that have happened have all felt very calm and well managed, and the things that haven't happened just haven't come our way. Yep, they're faster, okay, so it goes. I'll run as fast as I can, and they'll keep doing what they can do, and we'll see if any of them smoke each other. Cool. But yeah, it turned into a Sunday drive here pretty quick. Trying not to get distracted by the race happening off in the distance. And trying not to let Mr. Esslinger back into it. I think we got it though. Coming into the final quarter of the season after this weekend, feeling pretty good. 5th and 6th in the point standings after 9 rounds. And with 3 to go, I'm thinking it's coaching. I'm thinking it's time for some serious on-track coaching sessions with a couple of different coaches to try and just find tenths anywhere I can at this point. If somebody can show me 3 tenths, I'll show you a productive day. Because if I can do that 3 times, look at that, 3 tenths off the pace. Do it a 4th, and hopefully I'm in contention. Who knows, man? If I can knock half of it off in one session, I would be forever grateful. Because this plateau that I have found stretches from the sim, karts, back again. I am confused as to where this extra grip and extra power, and extra carriage of speed everybody seems to be able to find. I guess I just put too much of it in my hands and threw my hands into the pavement. I'm using extra energy compared to the fastest ones here. They are not as tuckered as I am at the end of these races, and I think my driving style has to be a big part of the reason why. become more and more controlled though. It's just probably a little bit too strong. Like, too much grip. Too much struggle. I don't know. Trying to squeeze up to the limit without squeezing past the limit. Didn't feel like I really had the opportunity to be gentle. With hindsight, yes, I was kind of wringing its neck, but it doesn't look squirrely as much as it looks tight. So, squirrely, I guess, is the word that I'm using instead of loose. I think loose is what I was looking for there. It's very like wobbly understeering because it's so quick to give me oversteer. So that shows the track was nice and grippy, even though it wasn't a steamy hot day. It was a beautiful day. It was a great day to go racing. Everybody out there was cool this weekend. Didn't have anything major go wrong. No complaints. Loved the new motor. Everything was good. I just wanted to see a little bit more progress out of myself, and I guess I didn't give myself the preparation that I needed in order to make that happen, in order to perform as well as the tools that I have now. Because yeah, like I said at the beginning, this is no excuses now. This is a no excuses machine. New engine, new tires, all on the driver now. Take care of it. Keep getting better. And I think we are. We just set the fastest lap again. The last lap of the race. Or excuse me, 3 fastest laps. No, that's a lie. Anyway. Bunch of 49s. Trying to find a 48, but it's probably not going to happen with the extra weight on. We threw an extra 5 on it. So we're at 20 pounds of lead plus the gallon of gas. Kept coming off the scales about 5 pounds heavy, but it felt better to be 5 pounds to the good than the other way around. Didn't want to have to be tinkering with fuel for every session. And I think we'll probably start being more specific once I think I have a better chance of holding the pace. At the moment, I was just trying to hold my pace. And a lot of that, like, it's there, but man, I know that I'm crossing the limit too much and having to make, like, low-key little saves. But they're so casual at this point that I'm not really noticing them as mistakes because I'm going good. Like, that's how you tell it to navigate that corner, because that's the fastest way that I've gotten through there to this point in time. So I need somebody to show me how to do it fastest. How to do that south hairpin, the center hairpin. Not to mention that north hairpin right there that we just bailed into. Swing that exit into the right-hander, onto the straight. Because these corners, these technical sections, stack up the next ones like dominoes. If you make a mistake in the first corner, you have to sacrifice the second corner in order to make the third. And once you've made that sacrifice to make the third, you're down on momentum that you otherwise would have had. And so your exit out of 4 onto the straight will be slower. And you'll pay for it the whole way down the straight. So that one mistake you made in the first corner of the twisty section can end up affecting you the whole way around half a lap. If you don't set up that entry correctly off of the back straight into that SS section, you end up compromising that whole section. I really enjoy the accordion effect of this track because it's making me a much more technical driver. It's making me a lot better at reading new track layouts and stitching together things that I already know with things that I might not necessarily know pretty quickly. But in the sim, I've been so averse to learning new tracks for in and out. I don't think I'm going to be able to avoid it here shortly because tracks like Navarra and Jerez and there's a few at this point, Mugello, like Misano, there are a few that I need to really commit to memory that are newer. Magny-Cours, there are also a few that are getting brought into iRacing that I'm very excited will be the Indy Lights car, the Mexican F1 track. I think there are going to be a few new good road courses in here this update, but we'll get to that in the next video. The update from iRacing. For now, I'm going to say thank you for joining me for this weekend of racing in the IKC, because this was a good one. Everything's going well. I'm not as fast as I could be, but at this point, I do firmly believe it's all technique. I don't think anything was wrong. I think there may be some setup stuff around the driving style, sure. At the moment, we still have the base setup on it, but we're still learning our tricks as it comes to the Birel. This is my first season in a Pro Kart chassis and a Birel chassis. And once we got it properly converted from KA to 206, I think we'll have a good shot to win. But at the moment, it still has a KA setup on it, I'm sure. And there are some modifications that we can make, whether that's front track width, rear track width, front steering geometry, like, we'll see. We shall see. But as we come across the line here, checkers, and bring it into the pits for the last time this weekend. Steady learning in this division. I tend to be the last guy to finish the race. In none of these was I the last guy to finish the race. Always had somebody on track. It was a good weekend if I look at it the right way. So hey, thank you again for tagging along. And yeah, hope to see you soon, whether it's in the sim or out here on track. Take care. Peace.